Good morning. It's Sunday, so it's time for my weekly update. It's early. That's the reason I sound like a croaking frog. I was supposed to leave town yesterday, but sometimes you just can't. And it was a lot. So there was nothing going on last night where I was going. So I'm actually leaving in about an hour and a half. Mostly packed. You just have to pack up the dog, pack up the kitchen, that kind of thing. And I'll be gone working out of office in a different location for a week, which is nice. But wanted to give my update on how much yarn I used this week in my never-ending quest to use up my hoard. I did buy yarn this week, though. I bought, trying to remember, somebody wanted a brown scrunchie, and I did not have any brown chenille yarn, so I had to buy that. And financially, it makes the most sense to buy that in a multi-pack. So it was a 3-pack of the brown chenille. Really is more of like a muted gold color. It's not the brown I was looking for that was shown online, but we'll make do. She said it'll be fine. So I have that. And then after doing the holiday the pumpkin and witch's hat garland. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. For the girls in my Bible study group, I decided to do a winter one for them too. But all of the white yarn that I have is a 4 or bulkier weight, so I had to buy something smaller. So I did buy Karen cotton, just it's either 2 or 3 weight white yarn, and I'll use that to make tons of snowflakes. That's not a problem at all. So I had 6 skeins come in, but I also used up 4, 5, 6. So I almost used up making the gnomes I talked about last week. One of the dark blue, hated the blue fur, hated it. Knew I would, used it anyway because it's the only thing I could find. Hated it. Gave it away. If I can, I'll try and put a picture of it up here because I did take a picture of it. Again, gave it to one of the girls in my Bible study because I thought she'd like winter decoration. It turned out really cute, except we were at dinner with her mother before we went to see a show. And her mother made the comment that it looked like, how do I say this so that it's safe for the internet? That it looked like the cover for a personal gratification device. Let's put it that way. Which, okay, if that's your thing, but that's not what it was made for. It was just meant to be a cute little piece of winter decor. Anywho, I have about this much left of the dark blue that I used, but I plan on making more of the gnomes when I get back from my trip. So have that, and that will be obviously in future videos, so I can't report on it this time. But I did make scrunchies. Last week I had started, somebody had asked for a burgundy one, so I cracked open my burgundy and used 2 more skeins of that. So here's the burgundy scrunchie, and I have 8 of those. And then, because I was in a scrunchy mood, made 1, 2, 3, I think I have 12 of this. I'm going to call it like a dusty pink. It's not quite a dusty rose. It's supposed to be pink, but it's not pink. It's got too much orange or tan in it to be that, so I'm going to call it dusty pink. It's interesting because it's the same brand, and I can get 4.5, sometimes 5 out of like a color like this. This, I have to alter my pattern because it's so chunky, and I only get 3 per skein. So I use 6 skeins, yay, so it's a net 0 for the week because I bought 6, but I used 6. But the difference in them, and this actually has less stitches, is pretty substantial. It's kind of interesting to me. I don't understand why the exact same thing just has, it's like twice as thick as this. And I prefer this, but people like the color, so that's what we go with. So I have all that for this week. I have my bag packed to go on vacation because nights are pretty dead. I think Wednesday and Friday are the only 2 nights that I won't be able to just sit down and crochet while life is going on. But today, tomorrow, Tuesday should be pretty. No, I have a birthday dinner Tuesday for a coworker. But anyway, I have a couple days of crocheting that I can get done. And I'm taking my temperature blanket with me. I was so good at the beginning of the year working on that. And if I'll try. I'm still new at this whole video kind of thing, so bear with me. It's not my forte. But if I can figure out how to put a picture up here, I'll put a picture in of like the first 6 months of what I did. I'm doing a corner to corner granny square, 20 stitches a day, high and low held together for my hometown or where I am at the time. So like this week when I travel, I'll use the highs and lows of where I will be as opposed to where I live. So we'll get those done, but I'm taking that with me. I did so good. Twice a month I would sit down after church and I would just, like do the whole thing. But I forget what happened. I went somewhere. I had another project baby blankets. I had 2 baby blankets I had to do. That's what it was in a very short amount of time. And one of them was very labor intensive. Again, I'll put a picture up here. Only if I can figure out how to do this. If I can't, then, you're just going to see more of my living room wall, which interesting. I know it's all abstract, but I love it. So the baby blankets got me derailed from keeping up on my temperature blanket. And now I think I'm only through the end of July. So I really have some progress I need to do to catch up there because here it is November. So I, of course, have recorded all of my highs and lows and I have all the yarn with me. And I ended up putting it in one of those big Target knockoff Hulkin bags that, the $10 ones as opposed to the $100 ones. But it's great because it's wheels and handles and it's just, there's so much yarn and I should be able to knock out several skeins this week, because of that project, if I can work on it like I want to. I also I started navy, like an ocean blue. That's the color I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's ocean blue scrunchies that I need to finish up as well. So I'll take that too. But other than that, I'm just looking around like, what else do I have yarn wise? I've cleaned up in terms of like organizing a little bit and gotten things a little more straight, which makes me feel better. I was a sloppy kid. My room had everything all over the floor when I was a kid and used to drive my mom nuts. And I understand that. But at the same time, I think it's because we had a small house, nothing wrong with that. And I didn't have a lot of space to figure out where things go. Like I just had to cram everything into whatever space was available. I loved my closet because I had shelves in my closet. It's not like it was a walk-in or anything. You open the door and there were shelves on this side and, hanging stuff over here. But I ended up actually putting a padlock on there when I was in high school because mom would go in and rearrange stuff and it would drive me crazy. Like things have a place and especially the older I get, I feel like that kind of organization is just calms my brain. And that's part of the reason why I didn't leave town yesterday. Like I was packed, but my house was just like, so, like it made my mind hurt to think of leaving my house in that condition when I knew I was going to be gone and I'd have to come home to it. Like I did laundry and I changed my sheets. So I knew I had clean linens. Fortunately, I had to sleep on them last night, but still it's something about coming home to a bed that's clean and fresh sheets. And all of my clothes are put away. My laundry's done, but there was just stuff that I wanted to get my house in order. And it's stupid because there's still clutter. I mean, I'm looking at my kitchen table and there's a diamond painting that's been out there since August because it's been kitted. And I have no idea when I'm going to find the time to do it because I'd rather work with yarn. A girl I was with needed something to do. So I pulled it out because she likes organizing the little, dots and stuff. I'm looking at the box that has my niece's Christmas present. Again, haven't done anything with it. That's going to be November when I get home. That's why I wanted to take the temperature blanket with me because when I get home, I'm going to have to buckle down and really work on my niece's blanket. And then behind my chair, or I should say Casper's chair, because she'll claim it. It was interesting when I was cleaning out my yarn. I'm working on a temperature blanket for 2025. And in the back of a cabinet, guess what I found? A temperature blanket for 2015 that I had all the yarn for. And I only did through January. I think I'm through March now, but like that's next year's project is to do the then 11-year-old temperature blanket. I want to finish this year's because I really like the way it looks. The one for 2015, I did granny squares. And while I don't mind it, stitching granny squares together doesn't thrill my soul. So I will finish it because I have the yarn for it and I'm going to do it. And who knows, maybe I'll donate it or something. I have so many blankets. But that's about it. I'm just looking around. I will leave the pumpkin garland up until I get home next weekend and then Christmas comes out. So I was not quite ready watching all the leaves come down outside. They are going to be raked while I'm gone. I'm so excited because they're starting to blow into the house and that just irks me. It's just more stuff in the house that I don't need. But that's this week's update. I will film another one for you next Sunday. Won't be quite as early in the day, but I will film another one for you next Sunday and we will see what happens. And again, if I didn't figure out how to put pictures up here, at least I'll put here's my total count of like yarn used and stuff, project to date. So I have been keeping track of that. I have a notebook that I keep all my notes in, and here's where I'll put those totals. I know that for the week, it's a net 0 because I used 6 and I got 6, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think maybe I'm at bought 40 or used 4. I don't know. I'll put it there. So I hope you have a lovely week. Good luck on your own personal yarn to stash. If you have any questions or, have a project you think I might be interested in, just drop a note, let me know. Have a good one. Bye.